and the general that investigated, who was tasked to investigate it, said he was a victim of being drugged by these ladies of the night. When we looked further into the investigation, which they didn't even look and probe at, we found that he was not drugged. So here you have somebody who's sitting there at Crime Intelligence with General Khumalo there, and General Khumalo is aware of it because he signs off on those documents when it goes to the loss management. But here, come forward after the criminal case is investigated and it is found that, and he was arrested, a disciplinary action is taken, a disciplinary case is open, and he's found guilty. So that's just one example. There is more on this, which I do not want to expose.
So is the complaint, remember we're talking about these charges here,
Yes,
the institution of these charges relating to the appointment of Ms. Mokwele. And we are still at the point where we are discussing how you moved from Mr. Adams's affidavit to formulating a charge sheet in the manner that you have done. That's the discussion at this point. Are you prosecuting, or the charge sheet, are you charging General Lushaba and General Khumalo for including General Lushaba in the panel? Is that part of the complaint? Is that why you are telling us this story about the loss of his laptop? That because there's that history, the charge relating to this appointment, insofar as it includes him, and General Khumalo, is further justified by the fact that he hadn't been disciplined previously, or a discipline happened, you are not happy with it, and the outcome and the conduct of Khumalo, and therefore his inclusion in the panel that appointed Ms. Mokwele was part of state capture. Is that of capture of crime intelligence? Is that the logic you say you have applied?
No, the point I was trying to get across, sorry, Commissioner, are you done?
Yes, you may proceed.
The point I'm trying to get at when it comes to the appointments, and as I explained with regards to how the systematic capture took place, where you have the panel that appointed Mokwele, when we spoke about the gratification, and when the gratification is going to be given at a later stage or whenever, when we look at Mokwele, the application that she made, the panel was fully aware the processes were manipulated. When you look at, and that's all in the documents, to appoint her. So she was, the appointment of Mokwele was clearly, one, fraud, and two, there was a gratification.
I just wanted to understand the relevance of General Lushaba's loss of a computer and how that was handled to this case that relates to Ms. Mokwele, and in particular, your having concluded this is part of capture of crime intelligence, the relevance of that. Because you seem to have told us something on the face of it, and having listened to you, there's no clear connection that you are making why that case has anything to do with this case and your gratification suspicion, because we must accept at that time, certainly, of drawing the charge sheet, it was, you just had a suspicion, and I think even now you say we don't know what she was going to do in the future. So at the time of drafting the charge sheet, we were dealing with your suspicion, and whoever is behind has given you instructions to investigate this matter. Why is it relevant, the computer story, to this charge?
May I respond, Commissioner?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner, I'm pointing out I pointed out to a panel member that sat on the panel, and when I say about capture, what I'm trying to say here is that you have people or members that are obligated to General Khumalo, who is the chair of the panel. He controls the panel. So
Did he pick the panel?
Excuse me, sir.
Did he pick the panel?
Yes.
He picked the panel.
The panel was, maybe I should have started there.
Yes.
My apologies, Commissioner. The panel was selected by General Khumalo. He selected the panel. The members on the panel, together with General Khumalo, it was very clear that they manipulated the process of appointing. When you look at the documents, the evidence, what we collected, this is what came out there. When we looked at...
And you say part of him selecting the panel, or the fact of him selecting these members as a panel, and they are collectively manipulating the process. You're saying that's all part of in furtherance of gratification to Ms. Mokwele for something that we don't know what she would do in future, but you also say that is part of a scheme, or it's a scheme in fact, to capture crime intelligence. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Happened here?
With the appointment of, that's the panel that has selected, manipulated the process to appoint Mokwele when she clearly should not have been appointed. That is the panel. So when you look at that, here's another appointee coming in to crime intelligence, and there are a few more appointments that are there too as well, that were appointed for a specific purpose. So when you look at it from a capture point of view, commissioners, you have a person in a position as a commander of that specific subcomponent or section that is now you control because you appointed them.
No, yeah, well, I was going to ask you exactly that last part, that I don't know the processes of the SAPS, so maybe enlighten. Does the panel that interviews make the appointment?
Commissioner?
You want me to repeat my question?
Yes, Commissioner.
The panel that interviews, and in this case, let's be specific to this case, the panel is constituted, you say it was constituted by General Khumalo, you say that, and you say he holds this very powerful position, and having appointed Ms. Mokwele, the General Khumalo would have been able to control her or to influence her.
Yes.
My question is, does the interviewing panel make the appointment of the employee in the SAPS?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Commissioner. I think this part of it comes up, well, I recommended, I didn't appoint. When we look...
What is your answer to my question? Let's not do a long explanation. Does the interviewing panel does an interviewing panel in the SAPS, and in particular the interviewing panel that interviewed Ms. Mokwele, did it appoint her? Is it this panel that appointed her?
That's the panel that appointed her.
The panel appointed her?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, Commissioner, I didn't understand the first time.
Okay, thank you.
It's that particular panel, chaired by General Khumalo, appointed by General Khumalo, chaired by General Khumalo, that appointed Ms. Mokwele.
Okay, so they didn't make a recommendation to somebody else. And I started off by saying I'm ignorant about the SAPS processes, recruitment processes. So I come from a different field, which is you interview, you recommend, somebody appoints. You are saying in this case, the very panel that interviewed her made the appointment.
Chair, Commissioner, let me disqualify what I said. It's recommend, but that recommend for me, although it's recommend, it's a given that she's going to be appointed.
Well, my question, let's go back to my question then. Don't tell me it's a given, because that's an opinion. You're expressing an opinion. I'm not interested in your opinion. I'm interested in facts. This panel that interviewed Ms. Mokwele, is your evidence or testimony that that panel appointed her? Because it's a simple matter. There is a letter of appointment somewhere, right? Or there's a minute somewhere. So we can verify that if we need to. But right now, I'm speaking from your knowledge because you're testifying and you took certain steps. So my question is simply this. Are you saying this panel appointed as a matter of fact and as a matter of law, because it has consequences, that she was appointed by the panel?
Can I respond, Commissioner?
That's what you say. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Commissioner. Let me be clear on it, Chair.
Sorry.
This panel recommended Mokwele to the National Commissioner to be appointed, which eventually led to her appointment indeed. That's my answer.
So, okay, let's reprise your answer. So you say now she was appointed by the National Commissioner.
Correct.
That's all. See, it was easy. That's all I wanted from you.
Yes.
Thank you.
He's the one that eventually signs off.
He's the one that appoints.
Sorry.
He's the one that appointed her.
Finally, yes, he signs off on the appointment.
Thank you.
Chair.
Just to close out on that, the issue of just, Commissioner Baloyi has just conversed with you. Let's just go back to the panel. You say Khumalo established the panel, appointed.
Correct.
In the course of your investigations and considering applicable prescripts regarding recruitment and promotions, I just want to understand what you were able to establish. That panel that you say Khumalo put together, the composition thereof, is it subject to approval by some higher authority, an authority higher than Khumalo, or a designated authority within SAPS? So the constitution of that panel, as your evidence has shown, is it subject to approval by a different authority within SAPS? Secondly, if the answer is yes, was such authority obtained with the result that the panel was approved or not approved, or the authority was never sought? Where do we land?
General Khumalo selected the panel.
Yes.
The panel selection is sent to the head office.
Okay.
The head office approved the panel that he selected.
Okay. So in so doing, the head office, whatever you mean by head office,
The National Commissioner's Office.
National Commissioner's Office.
Yes.
Okay. You don't have HR or some division that deals with these matters? They all go, everything goes to National Commissioner to approve?
No.
Is that how it works? What did your investigations show?
It goes to the HR department of the National Commissioner's Office. So when I say National Commissioner, it's that specific department that deals with it.
What is the HR office of the National Commissioner's Office?
It's the national office, the national HR office for the whole country.
Oh, so why do you make it the HR office of the National Commissioner's Office?
Because
as if it resides in the National Commissioner's Office. It doesn't, and you know that for a fact.
There's an HR
It's a division within SAPS, correct?
There's an HR department in every province. You have a provincial commissioner where the provincial HR department is also. So you have the National Commissioner's Office where you have the national HR office that is there.
Okay. So you say the selected panel, as selected by Khumalo, was sent for approval to that particular office?
Yes,
And that complied with the prescripts, applicable prescripts?
it complies with it.
Was approval granted to the best of your knowledge?
Approval was granted.
So does your charge sheet reflect that the eventual panel was as approved by that division or body? Does your charge sheet take into consideration that approval, or that approval becomes irrelevant because it was Khumalo who selected the panel and put it up for consideration with the result that it is approved or rejected?
When it was stated that it's actually meant that Khumalo selected the panel himself.
Yes.
And it was sent up to the HR department of head office, which was approved.
Now, whoever was approving, did they have the power to disapprove or reject some members of that panel? Do they have any powers, to your understanding, or is it to rubber stamp and it just goes back and they work?
The document that is said, they will compile a document, General Khumalo in his office.
Yes.
So this is the panels that I've selected. Head office will receive it, they either approve it or turn it down.
Yes.
When they respond, they say, your information note or your correspondence dated so-and-so, the panels are approved.
Okay. Now, the approval, if it were granted, what effect would it have on the validity of the panelists selected by Khumalo? Would it have any impact at all?
Well, if the panel is approved by head office, it's approved. It's an approved panel.
Okay.
So that means the recommendations given by Khumalo is approved by head office.
Okay. Chair, I see it's gone 16:09. I'll be moving on to a different topic, so this might be an opportune moment to stop.
Thank you. Let's adjourn and resume at 9:30 tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.